Welcome to Podnutz Daily, episode number 301. Podnutz Daily is that show where we take computer repair techs. Actually, they come on the show. They go over tips and tricks for you guys, different techniques they're using in their computer repair businesses. And it's a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. Today we have two guests on the show. They've been on before. You should know them by now. We have Kevin Adair, who is Reliant in the chat from toptotop.pros.com. Hey, Kevin.
Hello. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Weather is starting to warm up here in northeast Ohio. Can't wait for spring.
Ah, gosh. Yeah, the weather's getting nice down here. Nicer down here, too.
I was going to say, you've been enjoying the 70, 80 degree weather for a while.
You know what? Today driving home, it reminded me that I might want to get a motorcycle again. It entered my mind. I'm all over the place. I don't know what the heck I want. Is that your wife back there?
Yes, it is. Wave.
Hi, Kevin's wife. What's her name?
Her IRC room name is Tornado. There's a story behind that. And her real name is Tanya.
Hi, Tanya. Next is Lotfi the Reballer. That is his. That is his real given name. What's going on, Lotfi?
Yeah. Hey, man. Well, can't say much about the weather. London, you know, is always gray and sad and gloomy and cold.
Is that true? Or is that I didn't know if that was a fact or that people just said that.
That is true. Sadly, that is the truth.
Yeah, it sucks. Move to Florida. It's not too far away. If you move to Florida, Lotfi, then I'll be able to be in the TeamSpeak chat room the same time you are. We don't have...
you guys, yeah, I really that kind of annoys me because the TeamSpeak really is a great thing. Fubar Johnny, who set it up all for us, we text there, we meet, we talk, we're on voice. Actually, you know, although you guys are 7 hours behind, I do get time to speak with the other techs like Timster and Steve and a lot of techs from the US because the early birds, they open their shop early, so we do get a few hours to talk and help each other out almost daily now. It's becoming more of a habit.
Really?
Hopefully it's not keeping us too much from work, but yeah, you know, talking all day. But no, it's a great thing.
That seems like fun. Yeah, you guys are the real techs. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't. You guys could probably talk circles around me right now. For anybody who wants to know what the heck we're talking about, TeamSpeak is a client where you download, you get into a chat room, but you talk with your voice. It's not, and there's also a typing chat room you can type in, but you actually have conversations with your voice. And it's a lot of the Podnutz guys jump in there every once in a while and they talk about what they're running into computer repair wise and what they're doing and just whatever you want to talk about. So if you guys want to check that out, Fubar Johnny is hosting the TeamSpeak chat room. You have to go to teamspeak.com, download the client. This is really easy. Download the client, and then you have to enter the proper credentials, which have changed. Right now, it's podnutz.instantts.com. Is that it?
.net.
.net.
Now .net. Yeah.
Podnutz.instantts.net, and you have to enter port number.
I think it's anyway. If you go to the Podnutz forum in the general discussions, you'll see it first in the show in the post TeamSpeak settings.
Is the new TeamSpeak port in there?
It's 4201.
4201. That's the new one.
Yep.
Okay. So go there, check it out, jump in there, say hi, do whatever you want. Also, something I recently implemented, just on the side. We might dress it up and we might make a big thing out of it, or we'll see how it goes. A lot of guys a lot of Podnutz community guys are live streaming from their shop. They set up a little webcam. They go in there, they turn it on, they do their work, and it's either always on or it's on for most of the day or when they're doing jobs. And I put about 6 to 8 of them that I know of right now into a page at podnutz.com/live repair shops. So you can watch simultaneously guys doing repairs. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. And we'll see where that goes. We want to expand that. If you guys want to put cameras in your shops, I'll post you up on the site. So that's pretty fun to do, too.
And Steve, if I could add something.
Yeah.
Timster, almost nightly, has been having his own little show himself. And that's on Ustream. I got the link here.
Yeah, and he was doing all kind of things.
Yeah, let me post a link in the chat room here. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does all kinds of soldering. He shows his repairs, and it's really neat to watch somebody at their craft, a professional like Tim, doing his job. It's really interesting to see.
Cool. I think that's awesome. And he's on Ustream. You guys can check it out. It's ustream.tv/channel/a test with Tim. And all those last words are separated by a dash. A-test-with-Tim. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. Cool. I think that's great. If a bunch of you guys decide to do that, maybe, record what you're doing. We'll take clips. We'll play them on the show. I mean, I'm into that. So, all right, Kevin, let me pull up your notes now. But why don't you start us off while I find them, and let's get rolling.
Okay, let's start simple, and then we'll get into the harder stuff here.
Okay.
I put titles in the stories again too, Steve. Anyways, I got the first title is "Get Out the Lysol Spray Bottle." I had a compact Presario desktop come in, just a simple reinstallation. I tried to get the viruses out of it, of course, and it was just so heavily corrupted. It was in serious need of reformat and just reinstall Windows XP. The inside of the case was caked with dirt, including the heat sink and CPU fan. I mean, we've all seen the pictures of how bad things could get. This wasn't that bad. It was just that it was a wonder that the CPU didn't get burned out because the airflow between the fan and the CPU through the heat sink was just clogged with dirt. So
you mean when you say dirt, are we talking like just buildup of dust, or is it actual dirt that got in there?
This was dirt.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I got out the vacuum cleaner. I put it on the blowout side of the vacuum cleaner, shop vac, and I got as much as I could to get it out, but it was just not doing the job. So I had to take out the fan unit and the heat sink. I'm used to having these things have a screw on them, and there was no screw to be found on the four corners. Apparently, there's also, instead, there was these tabs that you pull aside, and then the fan would come out. But once the fan assembly, it looks like a little lunar landing assembly that was left on the moon, if you remember those. I just had to get the spray out, the Lysol spray bottle, and literally just had to spray over and over again, and get the paper towel. Now, and wipe everything clean. So it looked brand new by the time I got done to it. The fan was also making that vacuum cleaner noise. The unit goes up and down, up and down. I put some 3-in-1 motor oil in the fan bearing, and that took care of it. The lady told me that her last IT guy claimed that he cleaned it, charged her for the cleaning. And I told her, I says, ma'am, this was not clean. She goes, Kevin, I know it wasn't. And she could tell by the way that the whole unit looked when I brought it back to her. It was clean. So
how long ago did this other tech supposedly clean it?
About 6 weeks, maybe 7. And he didn't clean it.
No way.
No. So
it usually takes at least a year, really, for the dust to build up that much, doesn't it?
Yeah. If it's heavy dust, it still takes more than 6 weeks for it to get back up there. Definitely.
Yeah. So it was definitely never touched on the inside, and she knew it. I mean, her house was impeccable, very nice laid out, and everything was clean in her living room and kitchen area there where we were at. So I knew that she was not.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of the unit sitting there forever.
Those are the people that freak out the most when you show them how much dirt is on the inside of their computer, because if they knew that, they would probably clean it themselves.
I was afraid I'd give the lady a heart attack.
Really?
So, okay, for the new techs out there, you're always getting new techs into the show. I had a problem installing Realtek audio driver. I just went to the compact actually the HP website, and pulled up the model number, and that wasn't working too well. What happened was, during the installation of the audio driver, the computer would just automatically reboot. So I knew that was wrong, and I was just happened to be talking in the TeamSpeak channel there, and it's telling them what was going on. And Johnny gave me a link to this website.
Good,
Put it in
because
chat room here.
I can't stand the Realtek drivers. Never
Yeah,
could. They just plain suck.
So I went to that Intel driver, and it worked beautiful. So it's okay now.
Downloadcenter.intel.com.
Right.
Oh, that's just the whole site. That's the site. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so thanks to Fubar Johnny who suggested that to me, and it got it going.
Wait, wait up. Was it an Intel board?
It was an Intel board.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Pentium 4. I forget the rest of the specs, but I have to bring that unit back home because 2 days after she got it, she got infected again, and so I had to see whether it was something that I did or whether it's something that she did by looking in the index files and see where whoever's been whatever,
exactly.
porn sites or whatever. So I have to. I told her, I said I gave her a clean machine. She says, Kevin, I know you did, but she's now getting redirects. So yeah. So I have some ideas from the people in the TeamSpeak room.
What are the ideas? I mean, what do you check for when you look for history?
Well, Ray from Umpire Computers suggested that I go look in the registry for 127.0.0.0.1 and anything that has a colon after that for any odd numbers to go ahead and delete those, both in the registry and in the host file.
What is that? IP. For what is it for?
It tells the router or your modem, in this case her modem, to Ray explained it to me, and right now I just forgot.
That's all right, don't worry.
But no, what it does, it makes like a loop back into the router instead of going out into the internet like it should. And then it gets confused and it's going to other sites. Somebody can email you or voicemail you later about the exact explanation for that.
Yeah,
but that's
in the chat room they're saying it's a loop back at 127.0.0.1. Makes sense. Okay. You're right. You explained it well.
Okay.
Well, it redirects, Kevin, you mean when you go, let's say, on Google and you search for something and it redirects you to a fake page or a virus-affected page rather than the what it should take you to? Is that a redirect virus you were talking about?
Well, when I gave her back the machine, I forgot to install a remote support client. And when she would go to that remote support client site, it would go to another site, and it would have like maybe a competitor's information instead of the actual remote support site that I wanted her to use.
Right.
So
yeah, last time I had a problem like that was the client, whatever you put on Google search, the Google results come up, but when you click on the results, they will take you to a completely other site. So if you're looking for poker games, it would take you to like a fake poker game site, and all the searches were basically being redirected to other websites that I knew it's not there. And I scanned every single thing, I used every single scanner on the planet, virus scanner, it still couldn't remove it. And then what I did is I noticed that there is, after I click on the result, it goes to a website called somethingservices.com, like a really generic website. So I copied the address of that website it always takes me to, and I did a search on the entire hard drive for that website, just to see if there's a trace of it somewhere, because it must be local. And it turned out it was part of Firefox. It was an add-on on Firefox. It's actually, that's the virus itself. It disguises itself as an add-on for Firefox and redirects everything for Firefox and Internet Explorer and Google Chrome and all other web browsers. So in the end, what I did was I completely uninstalled Firefox, and the problem went away after that. So maybe you might want to try that as well.
Okay.
You even tried uninstalling just that add-on, didn't work, so you had to uninstall all of Firefox?
No, actually, that's right. I could have just installed uninstalled the add-on, but I kind of not trusted. So I said, let me just be really safe and remove the whole Firefox.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then after I did install Firefox back in, and then it was all fine afterwards.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know every tech has their own their own support policy, but I chose to go the 30-day route, just in case that I forget to, or I didn't uninstall a virus or something like that, because it could have been my mistake, you
Yeah.
know. So
I think it's
so
safe. Safe thing to do.
that's why the index files are there, so I can see if I did it or if they did it. So
Cool.
that's something that you can look forward.
What did you
as well.
find?
Not yet. It's coming back Friday.
I mean, what did you find in the index file?
No, I haven't. I don't have the unit back
Oh,
yet.
gotcha.
It's coming back Friday. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. I have a title called HPG60 My Christine. Now, you remember the movie Christine?
Where the car drives itself all around? Kills people?
Yep, and it would repair itself and look brand new like nothing happened, remember?
I don't think I saw the whole movie.
Okay,
I
saw
love
bits
that
and
movie.
pieces.
My favorite.
I saw.
I have both models of the Christine car. I love that movie. I watched it like 40 times.
Seriously, I gotta watch that then.
Well, this is parallel to what I'm telling you here. Going to be telling you. I got one of these in 2 weeks ago. I had a power jack where the owner's daughter ripped it out after talking to her boyfriend. Must have been on Skype or something. And she just ripped it out, and it just wasn't working again.
Ah, poor computer.
He wanted me to order the jack so that she can keep using it, because the whole family has G60s and they could use other units to charge her battery, so she could keep using it. The power jack came in, and where is it? Going to try and show you here. I don't have the video on right now, but
that's right. I know it's one of those Dell-like ones, right, with the 6 pins.
Yeah. Okay, this was not an exact match for.
It's the ones with the LED lights on the socket as well.
No, I think that's the DV6000 ones. I don't know. Oh, does that one have an LED light? It might.
Yep, it does. I'll show you.
Oh, good one. Good one, Lotfi.
It's the generation right after that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They now give them LED lights to indicate that when you plug the charger, it's on or it's charging or something.
I see.
So this was like $3 or $4, so I decided to hang on to it in case I need it for another unit later on. But the problem with it, Steve, was that these terminals were not matching up to the terminals of this original unit that
put them higher, Kevin, because it's over your name. There you go.
Okay, so this is the new one.
Yeah.
With the wrong terminal settings. Okay.
Yeah.
And they did not. I'm sorry. Set wrong terminal setup, and on the back of this one, they did not match up at all.
Right.
Well, I'm no electrical engineer, so I couldn't figure out which one goes where without possibly shorting out the motherboard. So. I told him what happened. He said, okay, it's cool. Nothing surprises him. So we waited for another couple of days from eBay. And eBay sent me, I don't have that unit here, but it's okay. Can you see the 6 wires that go into the plug here?
Yes.
Okay. The new one only had 4.
Okay.
Okay.
5. It had 5.
I'm sorry. You're right, Lofty. It had 5. And, but it had 4 wires going into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe at first it was a revision matter.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked on this side, this one has 6 and the new one had 5 pins.
Okay.
Okay, you follow me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got onto TeamSpeak and told the room what happened, and Lofty chimed in, and he can go on from here to explain what he told me to do.
Lotfi? Lotfi, you there?
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, yeah. Well, I was on TeamSpeak, and as I said, Kevin came in, and he was saying, I got the new DC jack wire and everything, but it doesn't seem to match the old one. The new one's got 5 wires. The old one had 6. The new one has 5, and they're sort of different colors. The old one goes red, black, green, etc. The new one goes red, white. Would it work or not? So he was afraid that it might short the motherboard.
Right. I would be worried for 2.
The DC jack from the other end, the other end looks fine. So I basically assured him that we need to do some tests, and what we did was we wanted to see if the colors make any difference. because the old one started red, and red means normally positive,
Right,
doesn't it?
right.
The new one was red-white. I
That's
wanted to
scary.
really know what that white does. Is it negative? Is it positive? Is it something else? So he got his multimeter, voltmeter, and he hooked up the charger to the socket, the new one, but he didn't hook the socket into the motherboard, just as it is, and it lit up. The LED lit up, and he put the pins of the probes of the voltmeter on each wire of the 6 wires. So the first one registered 19 volt, second one registered 19 volt as well. So that meant that the old one and the new one is the same, because the old one had red, it means voltage, voltage. The new one had voltage, voltage. So looking at that, I assured Kevin that go ahead, hook up the DC socket, and it's not going to short.
Yeah,
The
but did
thing
you
that
check the
Kevin-
rest of the wires?
The rest of the wires, they were black, which is negative, and they were white and green. And white and green, any other color than black and red means data. We're going to go into that. So I assured him, oh, sorry, we did actually, you're right. We did hook up the pros to the other wires, and they registered nothing, no voltage. So as long as they don't register any voltage, it's pretty much fine. So as I assured him that he needs to hook it up to the motherboard, and it does fit the motherboard on the connector, and he was asked, would it short, would it not? I assured him, don't worry, it's not gonna short. The truth is, I wasn't sure if it's gonna short or not.
Did you
Now
tell
you
Kevin
know.
this beforehand?
No, I didn't.
Is this the first time he's hearing about this?
Now he
Yeah.
tells me.
That is so funny, Lotfi.
I told him, oh, just go ahead, I will just take him.
You crack me up, man. All right. So what happened?
Well, what happened next was Kevin. He powered it on. He plugged the charger, and it would just power on for like a second and then dies. The fan would just spin for like 2 seconds and then it would power off.
Right.
But burned and no smoke came out, so at least that was fine.
Right.
So then, so we figured out that obviously that 6th wire, missing wire, is important, and we needed to get the same one with the same colors and the same wires. 6 wires, same color combinations, the exact same look as the old one was. We had troubles actually finding the same one. It was nowhere. They all had different ones or the same as he bought before.
What, on eBay? You looked on eBay?
Yes.
He looked on eBay. We did find, didn't we, Kevin? But they were like really expensive. I mean, do you have
Yes.
how much were they?
Oh, 60 on up. Yeah.
Was there any circuit board these were connected to, or just the jack and the wire?
The jack. You see nowadays you see DC jacks are getting clever now. It used to be even the wired DC jacks before, like on Toshiba's, you only get 2 wires, positive and negative, and the way to test that is to test for voltage. If there's 19 volts, then it's good.
Right.
Nowadays they make them even more advanced. They add at least 3 or 4 wires, which are data wires, and those transmit important data, like is it the right charger, is it original HP charger or not,
Right.
what kind of amp it does. So even we tested, the voltage was still going into the motherboard with the new jack, but because that data wire is not hooked up into the right socket, it wouldn't power on the motherboard.
Really?
Well, now you don't just check for voltage, but you have to basically check it's the exact same socket. So eventually what we did is we went to, luckily for HP, they have the HP part surfer, where you enter the exact model number or the part number of the laptop, and it comes up with this whole page of every single part for that laptop, from keyboards to wires to rubber pads, every single thing. And then we found the DC jack part number, and then we're looking on eBay, not for the for the laptop's DC socket, but for the actual model number. Because Kevin did the right thing. Kevin, he went on eBay, and all he did is he typed G61, or was it G60?
G60
socket. And the sellers nowadays, I don't think they pay attention anymore. They just send whatever they can find. They're not now accurate enough. So they'll write G60, but it didn't work for G60.
Damn.
So we only found the correct part through the part number from part circle.
Well, there's a correction a little bit there, Latfy. What happened was, so I called the customer and let him know what happened. He was superb. He was patient and he understood the whole deal. But anyways, the next day I got another package in the mail containing the correct power jack. Apparently, the seller must have realized he sent the wrong jack.
Really?
Yeah, and he just went ahead and sent it anyways. I gave him kudos for that on eBay. But uh, right away, I went back to work and I just installed it. Just so that somebody who hasn't worked on a G60 before, there are very tight quarters to work in that area because you have to actually bend this wire underneath the circuit board
Right.
and then back around and then it's a little bit tighter than
What
that.
a pain in
and
the butt. I hate that.
and then yeah, the left-hand channel speaker stub goes right in there. If it didn't go right in there, the bezel would never fit right.
Right.
So it was a battle. The other thing that I forgot to mention, when I was taking apart this motherboard, you know those little four-port pin plugs that go under the motherboard for one reason or another? You remember, Steve?
4-port pin plug? Oh, you mean for like speakers and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This one was for the caps light lock and the webcam and microphone.
Yeah.
Fubar Johnny had the same problem happen with him, only on the speaker plugs. When I was taking this thing out, it literally obliterated. It just the whole thing just disintegrated on me.
Yes. Okay, the little cheapy white little plastic.
Exactly.
Right.
And what happens is, I found out later, is there is a double lock into that jack. And so, when you feel the first snap, you're thinking, okay, you got it good. Well, you don't, because there's another lock that holds that sucker in place.
Oh, man.
And it's just like impossible to get that out without destroying it. So if anybody has any tips in the community, please let us know, because me and Johnny were like boiling mad over HP for this poor design of this port plug.
What'd you do about it?
I had to eat it.
You mean you bought another one? Okay.
Yeah, I had to buy another one, $35.
Damn.
Or was it 40? Something like that. 35, 40
bucks.
Is
frustrating, man.
I did try to breadboard it with because the terminals are still okay.
Yeah.
So I quote unquote breadboarded it into the jack. I didn't like what was happening. I used capacitor leads to go back into the port. And I was saying, even with shrink tubing, no go.
Still, yeah, it's touchy, man.
Yeah, I was not happy with it, and frankly, I don't have that much experience with those tiny plugs, and my hands are big too. So,
right.
So I had to eat it, and I had to get another one, and this is my parallel to the movie Christine. It's just everything was just going wrong on me on this machine.
Right.
So the next thing that happened, I got it all together. Windows 7 was coming on. Excuse me. Windows 7 was coming on, but I noticed that the Wi-Fi button light had an amber light, not a blue light or a green light.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I tried double pressing the button, because sometimes that was the trick to get them on. And another confirmation was that Windows wasn't picking up that that little 5-bar thing down there. It wasn't working. It wasn't picking up the networks in my neighborhood.
It didn't see any networks.
Exactly, nothing. Yeah. So I got to thinking. I reversed engineered myself. I went back. Okay, what happened when I put it back together? Okay, on the bezel frame, there's that power on button, and then there's the Wi-Fi button, and underneath there's a ribbon cable. Okay, the ribbon cable does not snap in like a typical ribbon cable does. It just sits in the ZIF connector. You follow it? Just
there is some pressure. I mean, it's you push it in, but you don't snap anything in.
Yeah, there's no snap feel.
Right.
None at all. So I says, all right. I was in desperation here, so So I took the unit apart and I went back down to that ribbon cable and I put it back in there as tight as I could and put down the ZIF connector lever and put it back together. It came back on. So don't don't think that it's the bezel frame switch. Just think what you did and go back in time, if you will, and see if you didn't put that ribbon cable back in correctly.
Now, in your show notes, you didn't say you just gently put the ribbon cable back. You say, so after letting out a primeval scream, which the TeamSpeak people heard because I forgot to mute my mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
So you played it down a little bit.
What? And that's when Fubar. I'm sorry, that's when Fubar Johnny suggested that I hit the button twice in a row, which I already did. I'm looking at my notes now, and then that's when I gave it an extra push on that ribbon cable to make sure it was kept in place, and I let out woohoo, and they all heard me in the TeamSpeak room, so they knew I got it good.
Nice.
Yes.
What a pain, man. Blame HP on that one.
It was poor designing. I heard that over and over again during the whole procedure of putting that thing back together. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we get used to taking apart ribbons and stuff easily with other laptops, just with your finger and thumbs and nails. But with HP, you gotta use somehow like a rubberized, a flat screw head, a screwdriver thing. Really careful, really gentle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're really flimsy. And if you notice their ribbon cables, if you take them off and on like 3-4 times, that's it. You gotta replace them, especially for the power on buttons. I think they're not made to last long. But going back to the DC subject thing, yeah, in the end, when Kevin got the right sockets, the right wires, I forgot. I thought he bought but yeah, he was right. The seller sent him the correct one. It eventually worked, right, Kevin? After that,
it worked beautiful. Everything came on like it should. And I says, I'm putting this thing back together, getting it out of my house.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
nice. So yeah,
happy ending.
Funny enough, I had the same situation today. I got a HP laptop dropped in DV7. Same thing. It uses the LED socket light, and he uses this is the new type of chargers where they look like Sony chargers, the Dell chargers.
Right.
And yeah, I suspect the DC socket is bad. So I wanted to buy the DC socket, just the DC socket alone. I didn't want the whole wire thing because that would be more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't find anything.
Really?
Sorry, I did find, but they're not those same ones as I got. Because from Kevin's story, the sellers on eBay, they put it was a DV7 a DC socket, but it did not. The back of it did not look at all like the one I have in my hand. Where the outputs are and the pinouts are. So I guess I have to go and buy the whole wire thing and look at the picture and make sure the colors match. They're the same. The wires are the same number, like 5 or 6 wires. Also, the length, like Kevin mentioned, plays an important role. If you have the wire too long, you have to roll it, and if you roll it, it might not let the case go back properly. So it's now becoming quite hectic to get these sockets around. But you just have to pay attention. Yeah,
those are the tough ones when they try to jam everything into a tight spot like that, and things don't go back together the way they should. That it just gets really frustrating at that point. But
yeah,
sounds like it worked out.
Yeah, but yeah, I got so yeah. If you want to test the socket on its own, you can. If you want to really see if it's working or not, you can take it off the motherboard and just hook the charger to it, and the LED should light up without hooking it up to the motherboard. If it doesn't light up, it does mean the socket is bad. Now, if you got 19 volts through the socket, doesn't necessarily mean it's working, because you also need the data cables to work. And yeah, match the part number, not the laptop model number, and make sure the back of the socket is also matches the same one as you got, the pinouts. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Also, Laffy, on that same part, on this tag right here is where you normally would find where you normally would find a part number. There's no part number on this thing. I got the magnifying glass out even to double check it, and there is just
Yeah.
no information whatsoever about a stupid part number that HP was supposed to put on this unit.
You mean
So,
that's just a white tag with nothing written on it?
well, it's got something written on it, but it's been, rubbed and then whatever,
Yeah.
so I couldn't even tell what was
Yeah, I
making
looked at
sense
mine
about it.
today. Yeah, mine today was from a DV7, which is exactly the same. Your HPG60 is actually, like Steve SMD on the chat, is the same as a CQ60. So they do kind of use the same parts, but um, although they look the same, they might not work with each other. Mine today was on the white tag. It said Foxconn, and then there was a number on it, but I couldn't come up with anything. Foxconn is obviously the company that made the DC jack. But I got the part number when I went to HP's part surfer website, and I typed in the service tag of the laptop or the model number of the laptop, and it came up with a list of the specific parts for that laptop, and there was a DC jack part number there. Copied it, pasted it onto eBay, and it came up with a picture of the DC jack matching exactly the one I have in my hands.
Uh-huh.
And also, the HP Surf Parts Center, or whatever you called it, it is an excellent source for parts because I found when I go to eBay, the parts that were for sale on eBay were higher than the ones in HP's own store.
Really?
So, yeah, so check back with the HP store before you go ahead and pay extra for whatever you will find on eBay. I was
Right.
like really surprised. That was the case for that wire harness, the caps like lock and the webcam cable. It was a lot cheaper than eBay wanted it for.
That's amazing. That's a good tip because who would think that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty, next story.
Yes.
Alrighty.
DV9000.
And I said, yeah, thank you very much, HPDB 9000.
Okay.
All right, customer comes in with, well, I go to her actually. I'm mobile, so, anyways, with the DB9000 with the usual bad GPU symptoms.
Yep.
First, she lost her Wi-Fi, then her graphics were getting shaky, and then a blank screen with the blue lights.
Right.
Well, that means reflow job. So I told her that was the case, and I said I have to do what we call a rework on the solder joints, and let's let Laffy explain what rework is.
Lotfi. Well, when you say when you say reflow to Lotfi, does your stomach turn a little bit?
No. It's just that, I'll probably I'll bore you guys with this whole reflow type. Like, oh, why is it always me? Okay.
Just say it fast.
Okay, reflow is when the solder joints underneath the video chip from overheating over the years make tiny cracks on the solder joints, and there's like 100 solder balls underneath each video chip. Now, what the reflow does, it heats up those solder joints to the point where they melt, and the cracks disappear and becomes a nice shiny solder ball again. However, because the solder lost its strength from oxidization due to oxygen and just nature, it will crack again quite quickly, but it could take just a day or sometimes 3 months. So if you're really lucky, it could be a year, but it's very rare.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I had to tell her that I do know soldering, and I do know how to take care of the situation, but she was going to have to be my guinea pig. And she goes,
"Well, I'm sure customers love to hear that confident statement."
Well, I said it was either a new motherboard, okay,
right,
or let me try to do something, and explain to her in layman's terms what a rework was. And the reason why she is my guinea pig, I'm putting this in the link in the lounge there. I just got my rework station, and so I tried to fix it that way. Well, when I got it apart, I already noticed that the bubble effect that happens around a bad GPU was already there. It had acquired too much heat already. Okay, around a GPU. Laffy explained to me that if there's any sort of bubble effect on the GPU area, that meant that it was no good.
All right.
So
Was it on
I
the
said,
chip?
No, not on the chip, but around. You've got the chip and you've got the green
Mm-hmm.
around the chip. It was on the green. The bubble was on the green.
Right.
Popcorn
So
effect.
yeah, yeah. So I says, well, let me try it. I got it apart. Why not? I'm trying to save the lady some money. And so I did the rework effect. I got the magnifying glass out. I could see the solder start to liquefy. I pulled away the gun, and I put it back together. Well, nothing. It was already too late. Steve, you said some time ago that you had to eat a motherboard, right?
I think probably.
Yeah. Well, I had to eat this one. So the HP was an AMD motherboard, and I mistakenly ordered an Intel.
Oh, you had to eat it in that way. I mean,
Oh.
okay. I see. I see. Oh yeah, that
So
sucks.
if anybody wants one, getting the Podnutz forums sitting on the shelf waiting for a sale. So, but anyways, she understood. She's just a lot of my customers. They're very understanding about all this, which has been very fortunate for me. So, but anyways,
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can you just put an Intel chip in it? Oh,
no.
You ordered an Intel one.
Yeah, the Intel has a like a frame with the holes, if you will, with an empty spot in the middle.
Yeah.
The AMD is covered with the holes for the pins.
So it wouldn't fit in the computer, even if it.
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I thought about that too, but
Okay.
I was like, but anyways, here's another bad eBay story. Checking my notes here. Okay, there were two trusted sellers selling the AMD motherboard
Right.
at $234,
Right.
and one untrusted at $94. Just like you said in your videos, try to go with the trusted sellers or at least ones with high marks.
Yes.
Okay. He said it was brand new and that a customer ordered it but changed his mind and he just wanted to get rid of it.
What was his feedback? Was it? I mean, on eBay now, what do they say? It says trusted seller next to it, right? The actual text says.
Right, but this guy was not a trusted seller.
But what was his feedback though? Did it say-
96.3, 96.7.
Okay.
Okay.
On
It's all
how
about,
many?
Yeah, how many?
Like thousands or hundreds or?
1,600 and
Oh,
yeah,
so
almost
it's probably
1,700. So,
power
you know,
seller.
even though
Sorry.
96 is not high in feedback rating terms.
I found that out,
Yeah.
as you'll
Okay.
soon see. Okay. It came in the mail. After inspecting the motherboard, I found the same bubble effect around the GPU.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
That
So-
sucks.
Yep. So I knew it could be bad news, but I went ahead and tried it anyways. Of course, the result was no good motherboard. So I went back to eBay and told him I was ripped off. They're taking care of the situation. In fact, he's not even listed as a seller no more. So I don't know what's going to happen with that.
What did the guys do? Did you try contacting the guy
Yeah.
first?
He goes, well, you did something with the motherboard when you installed it. You damaged it because it was working for me when I tried it. Well, there was nothing in his notes that saying he tried it. You know, because usually if you go to a motherboard seller, they're say tested or untested.
Right.
That was my mistake again. Well, I wrote back. I says, well, you know, I've only got 19 years of experience in repairing computers. And I went on about how, you know, I saw the bubble effect around the chip, and I didn't hear back from him. I'm still trying to escalate it, but I'm about ready just to give it up because
No, you PayPal PayPal will handle with you on that. You just you have to show PayPal evidence that you shipped it back, and they'll immediately refund
You don't
it.
have to, Kevin. eBay. As long as you're a client, eBay, they will do everything to sort your problem out. Kevin, you're the king. If you're an eBay, as long as you're the buyer, not the seller, they will give you your money back. They won't even need to hear your story.
Okay.
Yeah, but PayPal asks that you give them proof that you returned it, don't they?
Well, I haven't returned it. I was just so frustrated about
Yeah.
this unit. You know how you get when you get a unit in and you're spending all your time and effort when it should be a 2-day job, it's turning into another 2-week job
Oh
like
yeah,
the last one.
totally.
And I'm just like, whatever. I'm just like, yeah, I know I'm going to hear about it in emails and whatever, but it was a frustrating aspect of this whole situation.
Yeah.
So
Been
I
there.
called I called the customer. I told her what happened. She even used the F-bomb on me. But she goes, Kevin, I'm not using that against you. She says some other things are going on, and she goes, what do you want to do? I says, what I don't fix, you don't pay. So give me the unit for parts and we could call it even. So she signed off on a piece of paper saying that she was giving it to me for parts, and we were cool with that. So she's going to refer me to other customers as they come into her. So
Good.
yeah, it worked out well.
That could have ended worse. Well,
You
she did donate her computer to you. I mean,
yeah. The thing is, guys, be honest with your customers. Don't try to hide your mistake, okay, or whatever that went wrong. Tell them everything. They may not understand it, but they're going to look at you and say, "This guy is being honest with me. I like his work already." So
good point.
that's the main key right there.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
Love.
Kevin, I mean, for the motherboard, really, if you if I was you, I'd get the motherboard, open it right at the pack, and see bubbles on the chip. I won't even contact the seller. I'm just gonna go straight onto PayPal, because this is totally unacceptable. If it came and it worked for a while, then it stopped, etc. Probably, but having bubbles is clearly unacceptable. I would have gone straight to PayPal, do the claim. PayPal, as long as you describe, it's not as described, as long as you say anything. Oh, the color was the package was the wrong color. They don't care. They listen to you. They will give you 99.9% right.
And
They don't
they'll
listen
put a
to
hold on
sellers.
they'll put a hold on the seller's fund.
Yeah, yeah, and they don't care whether the seller receives his thing back or
They don't, huh?
but obviously you have to send it back. So don't worry. No, they don't. I had that happen to me many times, where I sold something and then 2 months later, or 43 days later, I get a complaint, and I haven't still got my stuff back, and PayPal got their money.
Kevin, Kevin, when you calm down and become unfrustrated, then get the $100 back that you got ripped off from here.
You have 45 days from your purchase. Anytime on the 44th day you can do it, and you'll still get your money back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of reflow, I know it's obviously not the not the right repair, and it definitely is not going to last very long. But if you want to do it, the DIY way, if you got your heat gun, or sorry, not the heat gun, no, the
rework station,
rework tool, the hot air station, to do it, start first from the bottom, because the bottom is more important than the top. So preheat the bottom. I would say put the biggest nozzle you have on the hot air gun. I would use 400 degrees C on the setting air, probably 4 or 5, and just keep a distance. Don't go too close when you start with the bottom. Keep around 5 centimeter distance, and just keep going around the chip from underneath for about a minute. And now put the board on the table, and then go from the top. Start from 10 centimeter distance, still at 400 at 405 airspeed, and keep keep at 10 centimeter distance. 10 centimeters like 5 inch, and keep just waving at the just around the GPU. And then after about a minute, go put the temperature up to 460 and go really close for about 30 seconds. And then stop the BGS station and let it cool for 5 minutes, and you should have good results. The key is to go slowly, to give a slow temperature ramp. You don't want to go too much heat too fast. Not just with reflowing GPUs and stuff, even removing components. You want to preheat first, because there's what I've just told you is three steps. Preheat, which is giving lower heat for a long time, for 1 minute, and then there's a step 2, which is called soak. Soak is when you get the solder almost to liquefy, but not liquefy. And the third step is called reflow, which is a temp which is above liquidation temperature. The liquidation temperature is 220, so we want to go just a little bit above, which is going to be around 225 for 30 seconds. Obviously, if you want to get accurate temperatures, you might want to use a laser temperature gun. You know those? You can just point it and make sure you go to 225. Or you could use like a thermocouple, but yeah, that's how you want to do a proper reflow. The popcorn effects happens because of too much heat too fast.
Damn.
But I remind you again, reflow is not going to last. You might want to do it if you wanted to recover data from a customer's laptop, or just to get the laptop back for a while, or just, for example, you don't know what is wrong. Maybe the processor is bad, maybe the RAM is bad, but you don't have another processor to check, and you just want to be sure that it's the GPU that's dead. Maybe you want to buy another motherboard, but you don't know what is wrong. Is the screen, is the RAM, is the processor? And you just want to reflow it quickly just to check 100% that was wrong. And that's how I really go about reflows.
Damn, great advice, Lotfield. Step by step on the reflow. That's the most detailed I've ever heard anybody talk about it. So thank you. That's valuable information.
Yes, it is.
All right. What do you got? One more here, Kevin?
Yep, we got one more.
All
okay.
right, do it.
Title of this one is Daughter, Mother, Adele and Spurn 1545.
Okay.
Okay, I've got this unit right here. It is, of course, the Dell 1545.
Yes.
I've got that cardboard in there to protect the screen. Power problem. The post in the jack was loose.
Yes.
So I tried again with my rework station. Now, we're getting up to the point where me and Latvia are thinking that I have a bad rework station, because what was happening with this, here's the unit itself, was that I got the tape over it, but anyways, the solder underneath here was just not melting for me.
Right.
Higher. You can't see them.
Yeah, the hot air. And I could see it start to molten, and then it would just immediately re-solidify itself. And I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So I blasted the air gun, not the air, but I blasted the temperature on the air part, air nozzle. Sorry, on the air nozzle, and that worked for a little bit more. And by the time I went to go get the pliers to pull the thing out, it was just not doable. So what I did was I took the pliers and I ripped it off, and I took it to work. And I was going to have them use the Dremel tool that we have in our shop at work to flush out the terminals, because after I ripped off the power jack, the terminals were still not
the little stubs.
Yeah, they were still not desoldering for me. I used a bulb. I used all my soldering tips that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So Laffy's going to laugh at this, but the end result was, okay, they managed to get the terminals fleshed out, but then the guy said he had another idea. And I said, well, what is it? So he showed me his idea, and what it was is that, is that he took a blowtorch, and here's the nozzle of the blowtorch, if you will. And he got it just close enough. I told him, I says, whatever you do, don't
burn it.
Yeah, don't melt it. Don't let the circuit board get black. He goes, okay, and it didn't. And so we got it off. I got it home. I put the new jack on, but I'm getting intermittent.
So the blowtorch worked.
It worked. It worked beautiful.
Okay.
He said that the solder hit the wall behind the behind the blowtorch area there. So
that's great.
So, so I get into TeamSpeak, and I'm telling these guys this, and Latvia comes in the room, and I go, well, Latvia, I got it solved. And I told him, I go, you sitting down? He goes, yeah. And he started laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing he ever heard of.
Yeah.
But, okay, so now I'm getting an intermittent signal from this thing. I put the power jack in. Latvia was again helping me with that. So I had an MP3 player that has one of those chargers that you could go to a USB port.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure that it was intermittent, not because of anything that I did, because I checked the solder connections underneath here. They're pretty good. There's,
Right.
I go up to the light, make sure there's nothing shining through and all that.
What's intermittent? The power's intermittent?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll explain that in a second. The MP3 player, when you plug it in, of course, it says connected and it'll start charging. It did that. I says, okay. So I took out another MP3 player that I had and did the same thing. That one didn't do it. So I made sure that I got allergies, excuse me. So what happened was, it didn't light up. The MP3 player didn't light up. So I took it to my wall charger to make sure that it was okay. It was okay. So I ordered her a new daughter board, and I found it pretty cheap. And I hooked it up to the computer, put everything back together. Nothing. So Lotfi gave me some testing again to do for this unit, but because of time, I'm not going to have him explain what he did here unless he could do it quickly. But it didn't start.
Okay.
So in my paperwork for my customers, I put down, it says, I'm not responsible for anything else that could happen to a motherboard other than the part that I'm actually working on. In this case, was the power terminal.
Right.
So apparently what happened was, in my possession, the motherboard GPU has gone bad. So now I'm waiting on the new motherboard from eBay. I got it from a trusted seller this time, and I'll let you know by voicemail or whatever.
You didn't try to do anything on the motherboard with a blowtorch, did you?
No. No.
So
no.
it just went out in your possession.
It just went out in my possession. So
that's just bad luck, isn't it?
It is. And that's why I said I mentioned the Christine movie. It's been a string of bad luck for.
Yeah.
I don't believe in luck, bad fortune.
Right.
But it's just a matter of things. You get jobs that go bam, 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 bam. Right. You're in there out the door. With these, it's been taking a lot longer than it should, and
If you tough it out, you'll be back on the uprise again. It's just always cyclic.
It's funny you should say that. I am, so I'm feeling better about that.
Good.
I'm not going to give up on it. It's just a learning experience for me to keep on going. So, like I said, I'm waiting for a new motherboard for eBay, and I'll let you know the result of that.
Very good. Thanks for all the notes, man, and all the stories. They're awesome. But that last thing especially hits home with me because I remember I was some weeks just completely floored by the amount of stuff that went wrong, and it just one after the other, and you just could not believe it could physically happen like that. But it does, and then the next week you just do great. So it's really cyclic.
Yeah, it is. And I have a tip for the Windows updates.
Yeah.
WSUS has been mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
I never tried it up until recently, within the last week and a half. I've had to because AT&T is now going nationwide with their bandwidth caps. Anywhere from 150 gigabytes to 250 gigabytes over a period of time, whatever that means. I'm pretty sure
over a
month.
Period of time.
Yeah.
Is that how they stated it? Over a period of time?
Yeah, it's on the it's on the DSL Reports website. You can look it up on there.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so I started using the WSUS. Now, before I've tried Slipstream, but I don't know. I just eventually had to go back to the Windows updates anyways. Mm-hmm. So on a normal Windows XP reinstall, it takes me at least 5 hours at 3.0 for all the Windows XP updates to happen. It takes 8 to 9 hours at the same speed for Vista for me, okay?
Right.
The WSUS saved me a lot of time. It is now it's almost 2 hours for Windows XP, and I haven't tried it on the Vista yet. I'll let you know what happens there.
Gotcha. Lotfi, what are you doing over there? Washing dishes? Fixing your car?
Nah, I'm getting comfortable. I'm putting the pillow.
Okay.
So that's it for my stories.
Thank you for the stories. Thank you for the WSUS tip, Kevin. You guys want to hear some emails and voicemails? Sure. Okay, Tony writes that he's got a link here for us. He said he was checking out the latest applications for a Mahi Linux home server, and he stumbled upon a program called MyITCRM, and it's at myitcrm.com. Let's check it out. So it looks like a open source and free CRM software for your repair business or your repairs business. Laffy, this is not the one you talked about, is it? Didn't you talk about one?
Is it PC repair tracker he was talking about?
Yeah, no, this is different. MyITCRM. Yeah. Okay, so there it is on the site. Yeah. I have not downloaded or tried it, but it looks like something to check out. Pretty neat. So,
yeah.
Any of you guys have any experience with that?
No, I don't know, but what I use is a PC repair tracker, and believe me, it's really awesome.
Yeah, still liking it?
You'll love it, man. I mean, it really runs my shop. But however, there's also TS Man, you know, for those of you who don't need the online tracking system. So the clients, if you don't, you know, if they don't need to go online and check the progress, and you still want the invoices created and the you know, pretty much what you're working on and everything. TS Man seems to be also you know, on the budget, because PC Repair Tracker, it's a yearly subscription, but apparently with TS Man, it's a one-off fee. So there are a lot of options out there. I certainly don't like QuickBooks. I installed QuickBooks and 2 hours uninstalled it. I couldn't get my head around that.
Really?
I just like something easy, simple. When it comes to that, because it needs to, you know, I've got so many complicated things going in my day that the last thing I want to do is spend 7 hours putting customers' details in there. So PC Repair Tracker kind of is an easy, interactive thing with nice buttons, not too many stuff going on. In 5 minutes, I book in the client. The client is stored on the cloud. I can access all my clients' jobs anywhere in the internet because it's cloud-based. Really awesome. And again, you know, thanks to Click Hosting from David who set it up.
Hosting Click.
Hosting Click. Yeah, Hosting Click. And now there's a new feature. Apparently they put SMS, so I can text the clients about the progress as well. This month, you know, every month, Luke, the creator of PC Track, he put something new on it, a new update, and this month, yeah, we got SMS, so it's pretty nice, pretty neat.
Yes.
You want to know what I use, Steve?
No, what? I do want to know. Where can we get one? He pointed to his wife. Yeah. Hey,
she says old-fashioned pen and paper, by the way.
Oh, cool. Hey, man, whatever works. I'm telling you. I have not tried my ITCRM, but in the chat room saying they're a sponsor of Technibble. Lotfi likes the one he's talking about. Dave Mason's in there correcting you that it's Hosting Click, not Click Hosting, and that he included a SMS gateway. A lot of activity going on in the chat room tonight. All right, let me play this voicemail. I'm not sure who it's from. Here it goes.
Yeah, Steve, this is Joe from Tennessee again, and I wanted to tell you I love the new format on Podnutz. And for all the techs out there, if you're not listening to all Steve's shows, you're costing yourself money. I took Chris's idea for Podnutz, listened to it yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon. I sold it to a client on 4 computers at one time. Keep listening. It is a great show. Thanks, and bye.
I must have kept that because I feel like I've heard that so many times. I can't remember if I played it on Podnutz or Podnutz Daily, but Joe, man, I love Joe's messages. They're so.
I did too. He's I can't explain what he is, but he's very good with the way he presents his questions.
Yeah, he's awesome. Thanks, Joe, for the voicemail. This is one from Dave. He says, check this out. bbc.co.uk. Let's see what this is. Oh, page not found. Or just Google booby-trapped web ads and check out the BBC article. So booby-trapped web ads. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'm taking his word for it that might be a pretty good article to check out. but the link didn't work, so I don't know if it's still up there. Roger says, Steve, congratulations on Podnutz Daily number 300. Wow, that's a lot of shows. I just sent you a little something to show my appreciation for the best podcast network on the internet. Yes, even better than Twit. Love the roundtable format on Podnutz. It makes the shows not only more informative with all the different opinions, but much more entertaining. Keep up the great work. From Roger. Yeah, Roger, thank you for everything you said and for the donation. Thank you totally a lot. One of the cool things you said, though, is we're getting good feedback on the roundtable version of how we do Podnutz these days. And I'm having a lot of fun with the show, too, so I hope you guys are enjoying that. We'll keep that going for you. This isn't the Podnutz forums. I think this is from Doc Brown. No, it's from TechWise. TechWise says, congrats on your 300th show. You've been a great help to me as I build up my business in the last 12 months. Many thanks from a grateful UK member. Long may the podcast carry on. That's from Neil, who is TechWise in the Podnutz forums. Some of these are carryover emails I didn't get to from last show, so there's some of them are just completely congratulatory and not completely tech-related, so I hope you guys can live with that. This is a voicemail from, again, I'm not sure who it is. Let's see who's calling us.
Hey, Steve, this is Clifford over here in Walla Walla. I'm over here in Walla Walla City anyway. I was just listening to your show 56, Quick or Fresh. Has nobody ever heard of QuickBooks Online? I don't use it, but it is an option. I know some of the guys were adamant about how QuickBooks is big and they like FreshBooks, but just something else to look at is the QuickBooks Online option. Thanks for the show. Talk to you later.
And that was Clifford. And I played that on Podnutz. I wanted to play it on Daily as well. You know, the whole QuickBooks, FreshBooks, debate. Which one should we use? Should we use something else? Everybody's got their thing. He suggested using QuickBooks Online. We didn't bring that up, so that's another great suggestion. So thank you, Clifford, for that. Okay, this one is from Doc Brown. Here we go.
Hi, Steve. This is Doc Brown. I wanted to call and say congratulations on the 300th episode of the Daily Show. You have provided quite a service for the computer repair community, and I'm proud and honored to have been a small part of it. I hope to see you online soon, and keep up the good work, my friend. So long.
That is from Doc Brown, the man, Larry Aldridge. We hear from him every once in a while. I hear from him personally every once in a while. He's doing some great things. Actually, he's created a directory of all the tech businesses from you guys who have contributed to Podnutz. Go in the forums and check that out. Doc's the man. Having some health problems lately, so let's all wish the best for Doc and speedy recovery. Doc, thanks very much for the email or the voicemail. Totally appreciate it, and for all your contributions. It's awesome. Okay. Let's see. This is from Jerry. He says, Podnutz number 58, in response to Chris Barry, Makogo, easier access for customers. So this is Makogo is an online, it's a remote service comparable to Log Me In. I'm trying to make sense of his email here. So what Jerry says is he's got different subheadings here, so that's why I'm going to read it. He's got Makogo. He makes easier access for customers. What he does is he uses Makogo instead of Log Me In. He makes a subdomain on his website that redirects it to join Makogo. Let's see. Anyway, Makogo is compatible with Mac. Log Me In, install computer easier. Tell you what, Jerry, post this in the Podnutz forums. Your whole write up here, because it'll be a lot easier for them to read it or read it on the forums than for me to try to read it out, because it's a nice outline form. So check it out, Jerry. Put that in the forums. If you guys ever heard of Makogo, Jerry here will enlighten you on why he uses that. Okay, this is from Marty. Marty says, Hi, Steve. Not sure if you take technical questions. If not, I understand. Let me first say that your laptop videos are awesome. I've used other repair videos in the past, but nothing is good, and the clarity really helps. Now for the question. I have an HP G60 laptop I bought. It works fine with the adapter, but it said the battery needed replacing. I got a new battery, but now when I do now when I do the Vista battery check, it comes back saying invalid, and it doesn't charge the battery. Is there any way to test the battery out of the laptop that is not charged? Everything else works fine. It could be a bad connection going from the power jack to the battery connection, maybe. Thanks in advance for any help, and thanks again for the videos. Keep up the good work. It's from Marty. You know, especially with what, Kevin, you were saying earlier, could it just be that he bought a crappy third-party battery that HP doesn't like, and that's why it's not charging?
That would be my first guess.
Okay. That's what I think too. Lotfi?
Yeah, also, I would probably say that if it's a third party, doesn't have the HP logo on the labeling. Also, you might want to try. It's a little bit risky, but HP does sometimes bring a new BIOS update which will fix glitches with the batteries. So you might want to try update the BIOS.
Good suggestion. Very good.
And also, I've had customers who said that those cheap batteries get very, very hot, and they were afraid to use it anymore. So
really.
Yeah.
I even said in the videos on the battery section, the laptop videos, look, I do a search with the word genuine. When I'm doing a search for a battery for like a DV9000 or whatever, put the word genuine in the title and see if you can pick out a nice HP battery and just play it safe because like you guys were talking about, the companies, the manufacturers don't like you putting third-party batteries in anymore, and they're putting in like safeguards against it. So that might be it with the G60.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Next voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, Steve, this is Rob from aplusomaha.biz. And want to congratulate you on your 300th episode today. Keep up the good work. Your podcasts are awesome. They've helped me throughout my schooling and helped me start my own company. They're a tech website builder and stuff like that. So just want to say keep up the good work. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. A little bad connection there, so I couldn't pick your name out. But I did want to just clarify some of the things that you said. Congratulated on the 300th episode. Helped him start his own computer repair business. Let's see. He used a tech site builder, started his own company. He did say something else that wasn't sure if you guys heard. Anyway.
You can come to the forum, post any problems you want. You can come to this TeamSpeak, have live text, help you by voice, how to sort your problems out.
Is that what he said, Lotfi? All that?
No, I just wanted to add more to the Podnutz services and the advantages you get.
Thank you. And then these are Kevin's notes. And I think, guys, okay, there's one more. John sent us a message regarding AMD processor shuts down after you install Service Pack 3. Who brought this up? It was in a recent episode. Somebody brought up that the processor shuts down after Service Pack 3 install. Was that Podnutz or Daily? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I remember you talking about with somebody before.
Yeah. John sent us a link from HP where it handles that problem. And basically, if you go to hp.com in the support section there and look for an article that says computer restarts after playing stop error. There's a long string of characters there. Anyway, it says, after displaying stop error, blah, 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 after updating with Service Pack 3 for Windows XP. So there's an exact fix in there for that. John sent us. So it is on HP's website if you guys are searching for that and don't know the solution. So I want to thank John for that. And that's it for the voicemails and the emails. Oops. Okay. Sorry if I stumbled through that, but I finally got through everything. I want to thank everybody for sending a voicemail and an email. If you want to send us those things, email me at mail@podnuts.com. If you want to send a voicemail, call 7076-PODNUT. 7076-PODNUT on a phone. That'll get you to the voicemail. We encourage all support and contributions with that. And Kevin and Lotfi, let's just have some last words, last comments from you guys, and anything else you want to say before we end off. Kevin?
Well, you can find me on two places. I'm 108 Reliant with a capital R on Twitter. I don't say much, but you will find me posting something here and there.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook under Kevin Adair. I'm the one with the close-up cut-off chin and glasses.
Okay.
And, of course, I'm in TeamSpeak most nights.
Awesome. Lotfi?
Oh, well, I just want to say I'm a little bit disappointed, though. I'm seeing the guest sign-up sheets. I'm checking it every week, so We need you guys to sign up. Those of you who haven't signed up for a while, it might be time to come back and tell us your news and what happened and your progress and everything. Also, don't forget, when you're buying something from Amazon, Newegg, or eBay, don't go to Amazon.com or eBay.com or Newegg.com. Go to Amazon.com/Podnutz, right? Or Newegg.com/Podnutz.
You're so close, and your intentions are very good.
Because
hang on. Let me give him the right. Let me give him the right link. Thank you, Laffy. Podnutz.com/Amazon. If you want to go to, before you go to Amazon, and Podnutz.com/Newegg. Anybody who is using those links, thank you very much. And anybody who's not using them, put it in your bookmark it, put it in your browser link bar, and use that instead, and it will help out Podnutz immensely. Thank you, Lotfi, for promoting that stuff. Anything else you wanted to say?
That's pretty much it. You can find me. I'm on Podnutz forums. Whenever you have a problem, you can post a question there. I'm also on TeamSpeak, but we're in the UK and everything. And that's that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you very much.
I just want to expand something what Lotfi said about the guests. Steve, you started the community. Well, we have to, as a community, give back a little bit from what we've learned from you, is to give you our stories and how we fix things, or how we don't fix things in my case tonight. But we need the information. We need the information to become more professional and to grow in our businesses. And you guys are the ones who are responsible for that. So please sign up on the website.
Thank both of you guys for promoting that. It's at podnutz.com/guests. And Lotfi said he's disappointed. More so than disappointed for me, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised when I put out a tweet and I say I need guests for Podnutz Daily. Who wouldn't want to do this? This is fun. For me. So I'm like, when nobody responds, I'm like, they don't think this is fun? That doesn't compute to me, because I guess I just like the podcast. But we do need support for that. I guarantee anybody who does sign up, you're going to have fun. This is a fun thing to do. If you're nervous, get over it, because in the first 2 minutes of you talking, all the nerves go away, and it's just fun after that. So, join us for that at podnutz.com/guests. Thank you, both of you guys on the call here for promoting that, and for all your contributions tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching, listening, streaming. That's going to be it for Podnutz Daily for tonight, and we will see you next time.